Well, hello there. By a popular opinion of two people, highly Gita and Ruta, I was prompted to record my usual chitty chatty craft surrounded video in English. My name is Ivona and I come to you from a far away shire in north and east of Europe, and this is where I chat about my creative craft journey, maybe. I tend to do it in Latvian because that is my native language, but I have been to England once or twice, so let's try an episode in English. Why not? I am numbering this as a continuous episode number 34 because, let's face it, it's probably a one-off. Surely internet does not need yet another English knitting podcast, so we'll pretend that this is just a standard episode in a row, and yes, nothing special about it. I am actually wondering how it's going to be to listen back to my own voice in English, because it took me a while to get used to the Latvian. This is going to be an experience and a half. Right, let's kick things off with addressing the new year that has recently happened. I hope you had a great Christmas and the new year has started promisingly with all the good vibes and good stitches. Before this, I tried to reflect on my last year and see how many projects I've done. So I took my phone and I was scrolling the camera roll because that's the easiest way of keeping track or figuring out what I did last year. And I was scrolling and I got to March. That's when I first had a finished object. That's 3 months into the year when I first had a finished hat. Yes, just a hat and a hobo gloves. A damn good hat, nothing wrong with it, but still, yeah, 3 months and it was just a hat and gloves. I mean, they're not even proper gloves, are they? So, a bit sad start, wasn't it? The name for the hat is, as it's this one, this is, I went on the craze of knitting loads of long hats. They are, that's a free pattern by a Latvian knitwear designer, Singing Knits. I'll leave the information in the box below. Yeah, really like the hats, I mean the pattern, because I have 3 or 4. Yes. Then I finally finished something a bit grander. I finished a So Faded by Andrea Mowry, and, well, it's slightly modified t-shirt version of a standard jumper, I guess, or sweater, or whatever you want to call it. That one made me happy. Very much enjoyed the process. It's knit using hand-dyed yarns by Maruma Yarn that I got in the advent calendar many years ago now. Years seem to be just passing quicker and quicker these days. But yeah, it's a very nice project and finished object. Really like the t-shirt. I like the colours, I love the fade, I love the fit. Works great. Very happy. Then the next project asked me to drop the needles altogether because I had 2 weeks to start and finish a quilt project, bearing in mind that I had never even attempted anything close to that. By no means perfect. Lots of wonky stitches, not matching corners, but I am very proud of myself and the kid seems to love it, so a win-win, and what else can I wish for? When I finished it, I thought, hell yeah, sewing is going to be my new thing. And nope, haven't touched a sewing machine since then. Haven't put it in a box either, thinking like, no, I definitely next weekend is going to be the weekend when I'll start sewing again. But that was in May last year. Yes. It has a cover, so it's not dusty, it's fine, but it definitely sits there and stares at me, and yeah, maybe this year, maybe this year. Last year was also the year where I attempted to participate in a knit along. That was organised by another Latvian knitwear designer, Zanete Knits, and it was where you can pick one of her patterns and knit it in a time period and enjoy the company, and I'm sure there were some prizes at the end as well. But my main reasons for participating was A, I already had a pattern bought ages ago, and B, I have two knitting friends that roped me into doing things that I know I am not capable, but they managed to do that. Let's knit together, they say. It'll be fun, they say. Anyhow, I did finish it. Eventually, I failed. Not in the time scale, no way. But I did finish it. I'm very happy about my jumper. It's a very warm and very cozy jumper. I learned during the knit a new float catching technique, as there's a lot of floats, as you can see. It's a coloured colour work jumper, so there were lots of good outcomes. But yes, if I get given a time period, I usually fail. Oh yeah, and that was Pagan Sky jumper by Zanete Knits using Novita yarns, a wonder wool, I think. After that one, I had a nice Summery Breezy project. I call it Summery and Breezy not only because it's essentially a net and there's more holes than the fabric, but it's also, and obviously I was knitting in the summer, I think, but it's also made using a bit more summery yarns with some linen in the blend, silk. I really like this one. It's a personal favorite of mine. I think I say that about every project because, let's face it, that's I guess normal. Yes, but it's crochet, but with knitted hem, cuffs, neckline and the bottom hem. I think crochet and knitting together gives a very nice effect. So yeah, I'm very happy with that one. And it has a, one of the strands is a sparkly yarn, and it adds that little shimmer. Really like it, really like it. After that, starting early autumn up until basically Christmas, I went on a crazy sock speed knitting quest where I decided that I wanted socks and I wanted to make socks as Christmas presents for everybody. And yes, I had a list, I was checking it twice, but as standard really, had plenty of bumps and hiccups and diversions and cancellations, and yeah, it wasn't fully as it was planned, but I think in like less than 3 months I must have knitted around 9 pairs of socks. There was one year when I was absolutely shocked at myself that for knitting 12 socks a year or 1 sock a month, and that was already like wow. Yeah, so there is some progression at least, but they were just plain vanilla socks, so and thick yarn, big needles, so the process was quite quick. But in between all those socks I had a secret project that was another Christmas present. It was a cowl, and I am very, very happy with that project. It's made using sock yarn, but one of them is Maruma yarns with silk, so it's very soft and nice. It's another pattern by Zanete Knits. It's a moon cowl. I modified the color work pattern bit by including extra colors to reduce the stitches in between. I mean, no, wait, let me try and clarify myself. Basically, I added extra colored stitches in order to achieve no more than 6 stitches for the floats, if that makes sense, because that's the number I feel comfortable of pulling, not pulling. You understand, I hope. Yes, but I think they work perfectly with it, and all is good. I'm very happy with that one. The recipient seems to like it as well, so what else can I wish for, right? And that's that. That's all my last year's projects, finished objects, have been mentioned. Sad, right? Now what? No idea. I guess we can start, I can start by mentioning the whips, work in progress, that has followed me across into the new year from last year, or maybe even one of them from year before. It's a long project. Big, I mean, not long, it's, never mind. So, yes, I have 3 whips. So the first whip is a shawl by the one and only Ruta, and that's a Dundagas svētku lakats. Why does this thing not have any stoppers? Okay, I'll work with what I have. This is a bit more fiddly than I like. So this is my current progress. As you can see, I have made a boo-boo. My stitch count at this precise moment does not match. I don't know why, but in this section of plain stockinette, I am trying to fix it. I stopped knitting it because I am knitting it using 3mm needles, and I needed those for the cowl, but now that that's finished, I have no excuse not to jump back on this one. It's a very lovely pattern, learning lots of different techniques on here, but yeah, no idea why I messed up the stitch count. I am knitting it from a well, 4 different strands. No, 4 strands of 3 different yarns from Italy, and my little blueberries. I did call them nipples at one point, but let's stick with blueberries. The blueberries, or the bobbles, are made by an additional strand of Tilia mohair in navy, and in my personal humble opinion, I think that works very, very good indeed. I love the slightly different colour blueberries, bubbles, dots, nipples. You got the gist. It's knitting up to be a really soft and light and gentle scarf. I love it. Really, really need to continue with this because I do want to finish it in time for spring, so I can wear it with my same color jacket and be matchy-matchy. The other long-winded project that has followed me over the threshold, and it's been following me for at least 2 years, I believe, is a cardigan, no frill cardigan by Petite Knit. and I do not have it with me because it's way too huge to be transported backwards and forwards, so you just have to take my word for it. I mean, I have shown it before on here. It's glorious. It's blue, and I've finished the sleeves. I am on Body Island, but because it's a full-length cardigan, it will take a while. It will take a while. I mean, I could cast it off right now because it's already a decent, somewhere mid-bum section, but I received another Donegal yarn cake, which Donegal is the yarn that I'm making it from, alongside with the strand of mohair. But yeah, I just received the new cake, and I just have to see this project to the end. It has to be glorious. I'm hoping for it to just graze the floor as I wear it, but we shall see. I'm going to talk about that one when I actually finish it. No need to speculate in advance. And so the third project is from a category Ja mamy designer, or in other words, I decided to be a knitwear designer. And yeah, when I get something in my little head, I have to act on it straight away or I'll explode. So behold, this is my creation. Can you see? So yeah, one day, I think it was October, I decided I want to design a jumper. Before I finished designing a jumper, I already started casting on and knitting. This is made using two different strands, two different drops yarns. One of them is soft tweed and the other one is melody. So melody is the fluffy one, and then there's another. Yeah, never mind. I bought that yarn, those two yarns, few years now back, because I wanted to make hats. That's why I bought them in like matching colors. But of course I made one hat and then decided that I don't want to make any more hats. So I was hoarding that yarn until that day, and then I was like, surely I have enough yarn to make the jumper, and surely it can't be that complicated. So I started. Needless to say, I had no idea how to actually design things like that, especially in a round yoke when you need increases and then you have a pattern, you know, like a drawing, pattern. But somehow, by sheer luck, I kind of succeeded, and I am kind of happy with what I got. I mean, it looks huge in the camera. I mean, it is an oversized jumper, bear with me, but I think it looks okay on me. I mean, I would show you, but I don't want to right now, and I don't have any B-roll for it. Obviously, I ended up running out of the charcoal yarn, and I had to buy some more. Fine. Now I am at the stage where I kind of need an outside opinion and suggestion. So as you can see, I have most of 2 sleeves and a body. And now my question is, should I include the colours in the end of the sleeves and the body to kind of tie it all in, if that makes sense? I don't know, maybe like a little colourful triangles, just a row, just a line, or alternatively I had another idea where I could maybe just finish off the very last bit of a cuff in like one sleeve yellow, one sleeve orange and the body blue. Would that be a thing? I've seen it somewhere, but I don't know if I need it. Or should I just continue with charcoal, finish ribbing, bind it off, and be done with it. What do you think? Also, the neck. Well, before I started knitting, this designing process that was happening in my head, I had an idea of, or I wanted like a big turtleneck, cowl type neck. Now I'm not entirely sure that is appropriate. I mean, it almost looks okay as it is, but in the same time, it is asking for something else, isn't it? Just a little 1x1 rib, little neckband, or maybe a nice big, I don't know. Basically, if anybody has any suggestions, any advice, please leave it down below. That'll be much appreciated. But I understand that, yeah, it might be easier if you saw it on me. But it is what it is. The reason why I'm talking so fast is because it's quite cold in here and my nose is slowly turning into Rudolph's red nose. I just want to go home. But I'm gonna persevere because the show must go on, doesn't it? But I'm close to the end, promise. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, geez, Louise, no. The coolest project, I forgot. My colourwork socks from my Knitter's Advent Calendar from Novita Yarns. Looky. How should we do this? Let's pull everything out. Right, so pull out. We have this. This is the progress. Not bad, not great, I know, but don't fret, I am still working on those. Working on them simultaneously and systematically like that is definitely the right thing to do. I knit a bit, knit a bit, knit a bit, knit a bit, knit a bit. But it is a colourwork sock or project in general, so it will take time. I just have to be sort of patient and just keep going. I am extremely happy of what's happening over here. I am again also adjusting the pattern by including additional stitches so that my floats are not too big, so that I don't have, or at least I'm minimizing the potential shrinkage. I am definitely not getting the gauge because these are supposed to be knee-high socks, but I'm fairly confident that I will get a thigh-high socks, but I will only love them more for that. Yes. Pattern itself knits up quite quickly because you can nicely split it in the chunks of different colors or different pictures, but once they're finished there's gonna be a lot of embroidery happening. I'll have to add lots of bling and bells and I'm totally here for it. I cannot wait. I would like to finish them as soon as possible, just like with all my other knitting and projects in general, so that is a very redundant phrase. I don't think I will finish it for the end of this winter, but maybe just for a photo shoot, you know, even though I'm even bad at those. But yes, they will be ready for next Christmas, without a doubt. Oh, the second I say that, I'm setting myself up for fail. But nevertheless, I'm sure I will be okay. Right, I think this is the logical place for me to start saying goodbyes, because I have shown you everything and told you everything I came here to show and tell. Hence the name of my magnificent podcast, Rādi un Stāsti, show and tell. And buys are in order. I could tell you about my future plans, but there is a probability of 90% that they will not come to fruition. I am, like I just said, always setting myself up to fail if I mention any plans or time frames or anything. So this year, new year, new me, I'm exploring a new tactic where I do not talk about my plans and I just see where the life takes me. And then I can tell you about it afterwards. I'm also trying to vlog, but it's not going as smoothly as one might like, but I'm sticking with it. I already skipped 2 days, but I'm sure nobody will notice, nobody will care. I'm trying to weigh my yarns, my yarn stash, but I got stuck halfway through, so there's still half of my... I weighed the left side of the room, now I have to weigh the right side of the room. No, I do not have that much yarn. Don't be scared or worried or impressed. I'm just very lazy and everything is in different corners. So yeah, thank you for coming and bye bye for now.